Kristal Cuevas is up next, the Yogipreneur, a San Antonio native. She graduated from St. Mary's University in 2004, found success in the corporate world, but, really, St. Mary's? But soon left to sell stretchy yoga pants and quickly realized her true passion wasn't just doing that, but teaching yoga. Then in 2009, she started teaching private and corporate yoga classes. 2010, she opened her doors to Southtown Yoga Loft. And then 5 years later, she has 2 thriving studios, a beautiful daughter who also practices yoga. And this fall, this is cool. She oversees more than 30 instructors, 2 teacher training programs. In this fall, she will be hosting her first yoga retreat in Tulum, Mexico. Give it up for Kristal Cuevas. Cool, Tulum. Very nice.
All right. I do want to say a special shout out to my dad, who's in.
Sorry, you have to use one of those.
My dad's in the audience tonight, and last PechaKucha was supposed to present, and because he was undergoing a major surgery, I had to be there instead of here. So I'm so glad that he's healthy and here tonight. And also, big yoga family here tonight, teachers and students. So thank you for showing up. All right. I'm not a guru, for sure, but I have cultivated a deep passion for yoga. And I realized that one day it was my calling to share what I love so much by creating a space where teachers and students could come together to get out of our bodies and out of our heads and into our bodies. If you hashtag yoga on Instagram, you'd see some pretty talented people in pretty outrageous postures wearing pretty tiny clothing. Great news is there's a deeper, more meaningful layer that is bound to make you go om. The philosophy behind attaining the perfect pose teaches us that an eightfold path that if followed can lead to ultimate peace within. My personal practice and style I most enjoy teaching is called Ashtanga, which refers to these 8 limbs. We can look at these as customs that develop who we are in society and prepare us for our journey inward. Tonight, we'll look at the first 2, the yamas and niyamas, and you can sign up for classes to explore the rest. There are 5 yamas, or how we relate to each other. These behaviors can be looked at as reflections of who we are. Think about how you interact with coworkers, family, Mother Nature, and how you channel your energy. You getting some pretty good vibes, or are there some areas that might need improvement? Our first yama is ahimsa, or nonviolence, non-harming. We have some pretty remarkable examples here, but it's good to keep in mind that acts of kindness come in all sizes. And it's not all about kindness towards others, but kindness towards ourselves, loving who we are in this moment. Satya, or truthfulness. I had a family photo up that was circa New Kids on the Block. My mom taught us at a very young age to be honest with one another and with ourselves. And boy, did she know when we weren't telling the truth. The Mahabharata, the great Indian epic, says, "Do not lie, even if lies are pleasing to the ear. That is the eternal law." Asteya, non-stealing. Now we think about material items, but this also refers to people's work, ideas, and time. When we practice non-stealing, we'll discover the real treasures in life: peace of mind, joy in the now, ultimate happiness, and great cookies. Our 4th yama, brahmacharya, or the preservation of energy. Some texts promote celibacy to maintain purity and preserve life force. We can also look at it as channeling our energy towards activities that are not wasting our time. In other words, sustain your spirit. Think about it. What are some unhealthy habits of yours that ultimately debilitate your time, your vitality, your mind space? The spiritual teacher Osho writes, "You can go on moving in many ways, but unless you have direction, you are moving uselessly." Final yama, aparigraha, or non-possessiveness. This is not a picture of my mom's house, although it could be. Don't get me wrong, I'm a girl who loves to shop. However, aparigraha teaches us to only take what is necessary. Consuming more than that can lead to greed. Live more like Buddha, who claims, "You can only lose what you cling to." It's time to navigate the niyamas, or 5 principles for ourselves we should try to live by. These can be looked at as intimate personal customs or our attitude toward them. This is one of our beautiful teachers, Trina, who teaches mermaid yoga at the Loft. We begin with sausha, or cleanliness. Showers are a good thing, brushing our teeth, our hair, keeping ourselves presentable. Of course, this is keeping the outside of our bodies clean, but what about the inside? How clean is your diet? How pure is your speech? What about your mind? Santosha, contentment. Being happy with what we have. Also accepting challenges and mistakes for what they are and realize that they are our greatest gifts. This is the very first studio I owned here in town. The poignant fallout that resulted in those doors closing empowered me to open SYL 2 months later. Tapas, not the Spanish appetizer. It's fiery discipline, the will to keep the body active and healthy. Sharath Joyce says, by practicing self-discipline, impurities are destroyed. Then the body and sense organs will gain spiritual strength. So what stands in your way of achieving a goal? What is one commitment you can make to yourself that will bring you closer to that goal? It can be 3 days a week. I'm going to walk 3 miles, or take up yoga, or maybe sign up for a 5K, instead of watching Game of Thrones and ending up like The Walking Dead. Svadhyaya, self-study. This means expanding our minds and our hearts by reading, traveling, playing music, appreciating art, dance, and a culture that is ever so vibrant and accessible right here in the great city of San Antonio. This is my little monkey dancing her heart out in Port Aransas a few weeks ago. Think about 2 personal passions, or something that you're really good at. What makes your heart sing, and what really lights your fire? When was the last time you engaged in those activities? Final niyama, Ishvara Pranidhana, or surrender to God, the universe, or a higher being. Dropping the ego and letting go of expectations, or better yet, outcomes in our jobs, our relationships, in life. This means trusting that we are all on the right path and that the people we meet along the way are there to make us better human beings. To close, I'm inviting you to have a little fun. No worries, we're not going into that pose. We're just going to breathe, so I really want you to do this. Close your eyes and sit up nice and tall. Everyone, I'm watching you. Close your eyes and sit up nice and tall. Relax your shoulders, relax your jaw. Now take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Once more, long, deep breath in. Exhale out. Thank you. Namaste.
That was great. Thank you. Okay, a question, because yoga, I have some coworkers who do yoga, and it's more like an exercise thing to a lot of people. What is, say, when you teach yoga, it seems like it's more cerebral and spiritual and that stuff.
Part of the reason why I wanted to share all of the philosophy behind yoga, because so many people see it and see a pose, which is beautiful, and it's a lot of work and practice to get into it, but there's so much more beyond that to study and to share. So
what is your classes like for 3 times a week, or what do you talk a lot more than other classes?
We lead through postures, so bringing in the philosophy, but more or less the class entails.
And how did you get
postures.
from the corporate world to this, and what's it like different, in case somebody out there is considering maybe a change?
Just really following your heart. Like, you get the gut feeling of, this is not what, I'm not happy, I'm not fulfilling, I'm not feeling fulfilled, so what is it that you need to do? What changes do you need to make to get where you really want to be?
And a last couple quick questions. Somebody back there said you lost them at celibacy, but how important is that right before we go to the beer break?
You don't have to listen to that one, that's okay.
Okay, and how about, just personally, mermaid yoga? What?
We have that. Just trying to get more people in.
Oh, sure, whatever works. What is mermaid yoga?
That pose was called mermaid pose.
Oh.
So, and Trina looks like a mermaid, so just, You can do. Trina's here tonight. Yeah.
Is she here? You wanted
She's
to
here.
say hi? And again, how they can get in touch with you, it's Southtown Yoga Loft.
.com. Yes.
And do you do all those, and I almost said weird poses, but those challenging poses?
You can call them party poses, too.
That brings us to the
arm
beer
balances are
break.
party poses,
Thank you very much. Give it up for Kristal Cuevas.